Coach's Corner is brought to you by Carillion Clinic Sports Medicine, getting you back in the game. Welcome into another edition of the Carillion Clinic Coach's Corner with Dan Bremner. I'm Brian Gardner, and Dan, kind of a Jekyll and Hyde weekend for you guys. On Friday was not the best effort in Huntsville, but a great bounce back for the overtime win in Pensacola on Saturday. How are you feeling about things after this weekend?
Yeah, unfortunately, that seems to be the story of quite a few weekends lately, and you know, I took a look in the mirror and took the onus on myself on where we're at with that consistency, and having another approach coming in, and we've had some meetings through the start of this week. Obviously very happy with the performance on Saturday. You know, we went over some video from Friday. The guys were ripped pretty good on a lack of effort, which is really disappointing. And then they showed up, and they showed up really well. You know, I think we had tons of opportunities to actually win that game in regulation, but we, you know, with some tough calls, we actually persevered and came out in overtime. So obviously very happy with that effort, but there's a different tone going forward that these guys are going to understand that level of effort is expected every night.
So that tone, and you talked about the meetings and the different approach, and that was the focus of it, that just you need to have that effort every single time?
Yeah, and you know, it's something that they see too. They've shown sparks where I think they can be the best team in the league. They've also shown games like on that Friday night in Huntsville where we're light years behind even the worst team in the league. And it's really frustrating. What it comes down to is effort. So yeah, the talk was about that, and you know, kind of holding each other accountable. Practice this week has been chippier. It's been more physical, and that's part of where, you know, there's only so much from the top that you can tell them that we need that energy. It's guys kind of challenging each other.
Are you trying to find a different approach really every single year that you're the head coach of this team? Each team like a little bit different and needs maybe a different hand?
Well, I mean, year two and a half for me, so it's always a learning experience. I try to do a ton of research. I try to reach out to other coaches, to friends that have some perspective on it, to get other ideas on it. And I don't expect I'll ever stop learning. I think every year that I come into it, you're going to have to change. You're going to have to tailor that coaching, that managing style to the group you have.
You have, of course, a little bit of a roster change last week when you made the trade Marcus Ortiz in exchange for Colton Walter. Early returns on Ortiz, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, he was one who actually played fairly well on Friday in a 5-0 loss as well as somebody can. But a little hesitant in systems and stuff. Usually what you see with a guy that comes in on the first game, maybe holding back a little bit because he doesn't want to make mistakes. And after talking about him for Saturday, we talked about making hard mistakes. You know, there's systems that you got to learn, but you know, play hockey and make hard decisions, go hard. And he showed up big for us on Saturday there, both physically on the score sheet and defensively too. You know, coming out with a +2 in a 3-2 overtime game is really big.
3 games in 3 nights this weekend, and you get another crack at Huntsville first on the road on Thursday. You ready to kind of crack back at them after that not so great effort on Friday?
I'm ready. The boys should be ready. There should be some fire in our bellies after that performance on Friday. An opportunity so quickly the next week to kind of redeem ourselves, and that's kind of the attitude we're going in there with.
I hope we come back home with some of that same attitude as well. Dan, thanks for joining us in the Carillion Clinic Coach's Corner.
Thanks, Brian.